sitting here tonight, I just find it hard to believe that he would have made this decision in 48 hours.
But Shan, that doesn't, is that neither here nor there? I mean, whether or not he got some advance, notice he's the Attorney General.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's fine.
Sorry, go ahead, Shan.
No, I mean, I agree. Normally, you would not make such a weighty decision so quickly, but he already made up his mind. He knew what he thought about the obstruction analysis, and he made that very clear in his letter to Rosenstein. Is it out of bounds for him to do that as the Attorney General? Probably not. He's the Attorney General. He can choose that. But it certainly is going to open questions as to what underlies that decision. And to me, there's no question he already made up his mind about that aspect.
Well, I also have to ask the question, Bob Mueller's kind of a black and white guy. He sees things very starkly. And for him to say something, well, on the one hand, he didn't, there's no evidence, can't conclude he committed a crime, but he's not exonerated. You have to ask yourself, what's the backstory here? And maybe, and Shan, you would know, and Carrie, you would know more about this, maybe the backstory is that Mueller knew he wasn't going to be able to get the subpoena that he wanted, that they had these informal discussions, as Pamela was reporting, and he knew he wasn't going to get it. And then maybe he disagrees with Barr on obstruction, but wasn't willing to put himself out there on it because he knew the Attorney General would disagree.
Ken, I want to get your thought on that.
No, look, first of all, there's so many maybes there, but had they pressed for a subpoena to have face-to-face questioning of the president, they would have prevailed legally. They would have won that battle, and I don't think there's much doubt about that. I really don't. And so to then to bootstrap the idea that this means all these 5 different things, I think is really reaching. It's just
Ken, it's funny. The president's lawyers spent months saying the exact opposite of what you're saying. That there is that.
Yes, but I am not one of the president's lawyers, and as you know, Jeffrey, I have frequently disagreed with those lawyers.
I understand that. But all I'm saying is that it is not a sure thing that the courts would have granted Mueller the right to question the president. I think you may be right. The United States Nixon versus precedent is relevant, although it's not exactly the same. But the idea that of course Mueller could have gotten to talk to Donald Trump if he wanted to, and just filed a subpoena. That's not really. It was a complicated, lengthy legal debate, a legal fight that was avoided.
I'm not suggesting it was simple, but I definitely think they would have prevailed on that. So, I just and the speculation on the notion that they wouldn't have, so they didn't even try when they interviewed. How many witnesses did they identify in the Attorney General's letter?
Well, of course we don't know.
Or something?
We just don't know.
Number.
We don't know.
We don't know. As Gloria is pointing out, we don't know because there's nothing in there from Mueller. It's just a couple of quotes.
Right.
So we don't know if he really did make a decision to punt. We don't know what else he said to the Attorney General. We don't know that because Barr chose not to put anything in.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie, just in terms of the actual report being released, there's grand jury testimony, I guess, in there that would have to be looked at carefully. I mean, there's a number of issues that would have to be looked at, correct?